What's your sign?
Scorpio.
Okay. And when I moved back, she still had the exact same
ones.
Yeah,
the photography is really amazing in those.
Yes! I remember I used to look at the bug one and be like, ooh, and like, He used to, before like, I guess when it was before 9/11 and shit. Maybe before that.
You can't say shit.
Oh. Yes, you can. Tony, remember, embrace your inner mess.
That's right.
My husband's like best friend.
Oh, okay.
He used to, like, because he would like race piranhas.
We're gonna start a piranha race. You can't just have me talk the whole time. Because I don't talk a lot in these things.
Anyway, that dude I was talking about actually smuggled fish, like,
Whoa.
in his pants. Like...
It's funny because New York has these animals that people are like, oh, the owl, the hawk, the falcon, the wild turkey, the mermaid.
A unicorn in Prospect Park.
Yeah.
I think it was. A report, a unicorn in Prospect Park.
What?
Was it a real sighting?
And so, like, if there's enough people, apparently they have to go and investigate. Yeah,
That's
so they went
crazy.
looking for the unicorn.
Gabby took me hiking. He was like, watch out for like the wild pigs because they're kind of mean.
They're dangerous.
Yeah.
They're just like escaped regular pigs, I think.
And they just went like wild.
And
feral.
they go crazy, yeah.
Like cops?
Huh?
What?
Sorry.
Like cops?
That's a good one.
Police.
The police, they just like they
Just to escape regular pigs.
like they accidentally smoked some DMT and then they just
Sorry,
went off
I
into
love
the
like. What did the police then say to his chest?
To his
Chest.
barrel chest, what did he say?
You're under a vest.
But
That's
this
my
would be like a
go-to joke.
Yiddish police.
Lyme disease is a man-made
Oh, stop it,
CIA-driven.
JFK Jr. RFK. Is it... Wait, why doesn't JFK... RFK Jr. should say, JFK Jr. is still alive. That's this weird thing.
He's in my basement.
Yeah.
But why do bats have eyes and moles don't? Because bats don't use their eyes really either.
I'm kind of like a bat because I'm sort of blind. Yeah, I had a cataract operation as 12 on my left eye. So I can really, it's weird. Like, I don't know what it's like to see in both. So, you know how when you look, you see your nose, right? And it's blurry on this side, you know. And I growing up, how we discovered that I had it is that I was born that way, so I thought it was normal. And I thought, like, how people are right-handed and left-handed.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same with the eyes.
Oh, you were bright-eyed and...
Yeah, so I asked my family, my mom or my sister once, I'm like, are you right-eyed or left-eyed?
And they're like, what are you
What
talking
do you mean?
about?
I was like, you know, right-eyed or left-eyed.
Yeah.
And that's how they're like, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, but then they removed it too late. So my lens never developed, so it's like a baby eye, like blurred vision.
They call you Baby Eye now. That's cool as a nickname.
Actually, like, tried to mentally prepare myself in the event that I become blind. like,
Really?
try to-
How are you preparing yourself?
Just like having to accept that I could never draw, which is the one thing that I love to do. Like, just like accept it. Like, just being like, okay, I will have to find joy other places and write it. I think that's what my conclusion was, is that I'll have to lean into writing.
I always thought like I'd be like, oh, there's always music. So.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because when I was young and I badly wanted to be like a famous star, I wanted to, like, so badly. I just wanted to be recognized by the whole world. And I had to, like, at a very young age, I mean, like 20 or something, I was like, okay, so that might not happen, and so I have to, like, prepare for that possibility. And so I tried to imagine for myself a life of just being a normal, regular person. And actually that has come into hand.
No, you're famous, dude.
I'm famous in a very small circle. So I actually have best of both worlds.
I'm the same way. I'm
You
like,
can't pretend.
I'm like, now I can just relax and just enjoy life. I thought it was like how I was raised, because it's like, everyone's like trying to like outdo each other and be exceptional and stuff like that. I did a study, and it's like people who are deaf have more loneliness than people who are blind for some reason. Like
What is that? How?
Like, I don't know, like they have, it's more lonely. Like constant silence all the time. I don't know. They're both awful sounding.
Wait, so deaf is lonelier than blind. My grandmother was at our family dinners. She didn't hear so well, and she would sit there at the table and everybody would be talking, and she'd be trying to follow what everyone was saying, but she couldn't keep up, and it was hard. And like I think she did feel like lonely and separated from everyone because she just could not follow the converse. I think there is something about collaborating with oneself, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like learning to collaborate between the different parts of yourself. Like the mean part and the nice part.
Do you ever like draw or like, you know, get in a zone or get drunk or something and then like start getting angry at yourself in your own journal or your drawings and then the next day you're like, wow, it's so mean to me. And a lot of like mean notes to myself.
Wow. That sounds a little... Is it cathartic at all?
Not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like guilt.
It is really
And
hard.
shame.
Yeah, let's talk about shame and guilt. I love those things.
Yeah, me too. It's my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking the other night with Tom about like how you and Tom both grew up in religious atmospheres, and I was raised an atheist, although I still have a lot of shame. But like the fear, and you also grew up in a religious atmosphere, like the fear that, and like the existential fear that is instilled in you in a very young age, like it's like a philosophical existential thing that you're thinking about at such a young age. About how
That's true. It's a lot of pressure for a kid.
Yeah, but it's not like a warm thing either. It's not like it's not like, oh, you're a soul inside an eternal body and you're gonna be like, you'll have challenges, but like you'll always have your true self, and like that's always made of love. It's always like you better be good or else you'll be tortured in hell.
Exactly.
So yeah, but for you, on the other hand, it was more like you better not masturbate or you'll be tortured.
Yeah, but there's so much hypocrisy in it, you know.
But did you see the hypocrisy as a child or even sense it?
No, it was like, I thought it was treated as a gospel there. It still is.
Yeah.
Pun intended, but yeah. The school I went to, particularly in high school, was even like more like a step up. Like in my 20s, I became agnostic. I was thinking of doing a comic about the Catholic stuff in high school. So I looked at the website of the school I went to, and I was like, I wonder, like, you know, because I remember my mom said they had all these weird requirements, like you had to give the marriage certificate. You know, it's normal. Your parents' marriage certificate, but my mom did say like, they interviewed her and they asked like, so does she like boys? And I said no. Yeah, so even for my mom, it was kind of extra because she's super religious.
Oh, she.
But
do you feel like you let her down?
Yeah, we all let her down.
Sure. Your dad, was he super religious as well?
Yeah, well, not as much as my mom, but like, you know, he's like, he still goes to church and stuff. I remember like for a long time he wouldn't take communion because he didn't like the taste of it. Stuff like that. He didn't like it. So when my sister got married, like, my mom was like, you better take it this time. People will be watching.
Yeah, you have to concentrate on just drawing.
What if we just go like,
Yeah, do that.
Well,
that's the thing that...
No, we should have a dance party.
Jamoda running.
Motorcycle song.
For adventure.
Or whatever comes his way.
It's like these
No,
like,
it doesn't matter
let's
though.
talk about these deep topics.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
come
no,
on, and it's
that's
like,
a failure.
what are we talking about?
A river in heaven? That would
Yes.
be awesome.
That's
a great idea.
It's the fountain of youth. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm like 55, 56.
I'm just curious, 'cause I can never tell. Like,
Yeah, you
sorry,
can't tell with people.
I can't. I'm bad with like white people. I
Yeah.
can never
They
tell their
all
age.
look the
I
same.
don't- It's funny because like, my husband Roy, he's technically Japanese, right? By like ethnicity, but he's born and raised in America.
Right.
But in the Philippines, it's just like they don't get it. They're always like, "What are you?" It's like, "I'm American." Yeah, but like, ooh, are you?
Yeah, Japanese.
And they would like, they would talk to him and like
Yeah.
bow and stuff. He's like, "I don't understand.
You don't need to do
Japanese,
that.
they have a lot of bowing etiquette, it's true.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the hell are you? I don't know what that is.
Did you do bowing in Japan, Gabrielle?
We did some, yeah.
You actually had to do it.
Like, you have to bow deeper, like, depending on how respectable the person is. But I think it also has to do with just, like, your own
quarter bow.
respect for them. Like, I think, I remember we were walking in the streets and, we saw, like, my friends saw somebody that they, like, was well-respected artist of their, like, who they were a big fan of. And they ran up to them and, like, bowed very deeply. So it was more like they themselves were like, this is how much I respect you, or something. Like, this is my interpretation.
This is my personal bow for you.
Yeah, and it was like this enthusiastic bow. It was very touching, actually. You might say
that.
Respect. Just respect.
Respect. Respect.
But it's
generation
really
is specific.
Yeah.
Do you think that the kids these days are less so?
Yes, they take themselves way too seriously.
Kids today.
I know.
It's like the opposite.
They're so nice today. So nice to themselves.
Not like in our day.
No,
it's
like we created them, right? Like that's our our generation's
You have
children.
10 kids, right?
Right?
You said you have 10 kids?
Yeah, I have 10. Yeah, I want more.
Okay, we need to find some more kids for November.
Are you going to put any kids in heaven?
No,
that
they're not
sounds
allowed.
crazy, like
They're not
Oregon.
allowed here. That's why it's heaven. They'll build like quarters for them. So they have their own bathroom, kitchen, and living area.
In
They
the
live
house
in
or
it.
like a separate
In
little
the
room?
house, but
Yeah.
it's part of it. And then they come from they'll come from like all the provinces because they need work, and all the work's in Manila. So, and then they have to support all the children they have because it's Catholic. Everyone has like a billion kids, even if you don't have a house, like a place to live.
Yeah.
And so
Saudi Arabia and stuff, or the
A lot of-
UAE, they have like part of the Filipino people come over there.
yes, for
And then-
work.
And then
always
they'll
looking for
take
work.
their visas away,
Yes.
and then they'll abuse them,
That's very common.
and they're scared because they're...
Yeah, and after a while, it's like family because some of them they're with us for like there's like let's say there's a maid or helper that was with us since I was a child.
Do you know this
And, like,
person? What's her name?
Jonna.
Yeah. How's
You know.
Shauna doing?
She died. It's like a family member dying.
Yeah.
You know, I was like so upset. Like my mom called me.
Or
No, it's
help.
normal because if someone comes over, they already know it's the help. Doing their thing while we're here.
What if she
doing
was
this.
also an aspiring cartoonist? Or like...
Do they not have those ambitions?
No,
Like,
they don't. They
Yeah.
don't even have like
They're not
access to education and stuff. It's really horrible. And they're
Normal.
treated like family members. Like
Yeah.
they love me because I was like hang out with them and I
Yeah.
give the best Christmas gifts and shit. You know, they do.
Here.
And then they'll bring their
It's like,
relatives
yeah.
over. They're like, "Can you hire my sister?"
Yeah.
Because they have to support all their like family bag. And my mom like will help like if like with their medical or like their education. I mean the kids and stuff like that.
So like if their teeth fall out, they're like, you know what?
Yeah,
Do you want these hand-me-down teeth?
We've had people like steal stuff.
And stealing,
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the good help is hard to find. like
You guys have a car. Your husband
yeah,
drives
my
you.
partner drives and
Your
I'm
partner.
like
Is it your husband or your partner?
my husband, who's also my partner.
Okay.
It's just a thing to say these
and your
days.
friends.
That's what they say these days.
And
My
your-
partner.
What about Heathcliff and the tensions that happened between Heathcliff and Kathy, where he was like this gypsy boy that they took in, and he,
Similar.
but him and Kathy they were the same age, but she was like the princess of the house. They played together as children, but when they come of age, like at puberty, then Catherine is
It's forbidden.
invited to go to the families of the other rich people and be taken into society, and he's left behind with all this bitterness and anger and jealousy, and she haunts the moors. And
You can't.
because underneath it's like the love, it transcends the social, the social structure. But then they couldn't not get married because they loved each other so much.
Sadly, that's kind of like how it is there. Oh no, you're either rich or poor.
So you're rich.
Yeah, my family is.
Your father is an ad man of some sort.
Yeah, he was. He should be retired.
But he's still trying to stay in the game.
Actually, it's funny because my parents both grew up poor.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was like, he actually couldn't afford to go to college, so he would go to the library and read up on the ad books and stuff.
Self-made. Yeah.
Self-made. And so, like, I think he I forgot the entire story, but at an ad agency, he wasn't really in the, top whatever. But he said like, give me a chance, like, let me write an ad. And it was one of those like, I like your moxie kid. It was like for a shoe or something. And at the end of everything, he ended up owning his own company.
You're a self-made cartoonist.
Yeah.
Are you the most famous
I'm a
cartoonist
fake.
in the Philippines?
No, because like it's a very local culture, so there are people who are more popular there. Like we have their own Comic-Con, which is Comic-Con spelled with K's, really. So like I have a friend who's like, well, there's some like there's, but it's very small. Like they would go crazy because they'll see that I'm doing this with you. Like,
They know of me?
Yes.
In Hawaii or the Philippines?
In the Philippines.
I'm famous in the Philippines?
Very well. With the indie cartoonists. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm not even kidding.
I had no idea.
I never learned how to paint. So, did you ever like take painting classes?
No.
Did you ever go to art school?
Not really. All I've really done is figure drawing.
I miss that so much. Like I'll do figure drawing. I'll go like, that site Line of Action.
I don't.
So it's just like figure drawing, like photos of like you can choose naked people or like clothed people.
I have a
like,
couple of
whatever.
books of that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like it'll change. This like you can choose. So yeah, I miss drawing live people though.
The cool hip area, or is that not even
It's
the
a little
thing there?
behind because the cool area where all the art's like there's a lot of murals and stuff.
Yeah, where's
But
that?
it's called Kakaako. Gabby shows hate it. he said that place should be a hate crime. It's like super gentrified.
Yeah,
but it's
very
now it's gentrified.
Yeah,
but
it's where all
before-
the hip, the kids are. It's like,
but
but
you
it's
don't
still
live there.
kind of behind. Yeah, I don't live there. It's not. I'm glad I don't because I looked into it before I moved there. But I'm in this place where it's like, kind of like similar to where I used to live in San Francisco, where it's kind of like.
Where's San Francisco?
I lived in the Tenderloin.
Oh.
It was very Tales of the City. Is it Tales from the City or Tales of the City? I read that when I was a kid. But that was the vibe of my building. And I feel like the vibe of my building now is the same, where it's kind of like there's enough like local weirdos and old people, but like they're kind of like funky and I don't know. I like that. It's not so like Waikiki.
Yeah.
It's like on the other side, just like a canal that runs right Hawaii.
Yeah.
So it's like the other side of it. In Hawaii, a thing is everyone has a lanai. So it's really just a balcony.
That feeling here is like...
It's dangerous though because like I'll have days where I don't leave the house and to feel better I'll go on my lanai and I'll be like, I've been outside. It's like it's a breezeway building, so it's an open hallway. So when I go out, the hallway is scenic. Like look around because it's beautiful because I see like Diamond Head, the volcano.
As you're throwing your trash.
Yes, I'm
down
throwing
there.
my trash in the trash chute, and then I'll just like walk back.
Yeah.
It's hard to not get jaded because like you see it every day. So I have to remind myself like, look where you live. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's why it helps to visit like New York. Be like, this garbage over here.
The garbage. Maybe people talk garbage.
Yeah, you see, there's a contrast there, right?
I feel I have to remind myself what a great city I live in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For different reasons.
Walking around with November and with Hans and like seeing what they're seeing of just like this, all the fire escapes and like the
I love
dense city life that I just forget about in my self-absorption.
I love it. Because like, especially like I guess during the pandemic, I wish I did live in the city. Because I think you would feel less alone.
Oh, you were in the Philippines.
That's why I moved. I moved right after I.
How did that? That was a pretty tough time in the Philippines, wasn't it? Like,
I had a really bad time.
Yeah.
I kind of had like a crazy moment.
With a what?
I got addicted to meth.
You were like a meth person?
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I would draw because I didn't smoke.
Well, it gives you energy.
I snorted it because how I ended up getting into it is because I thought it was coke, and they were like, "No, it's meth." And then like, this was like a slow burn into this descending. But I would zone out in drawing, like music and drawing. I guess it wasn't and I would like get lost in the world and just like draw for hours. But like the bad thing is if you're actually trying to draw something, you could get too obsessed with it. Like like I was drawing like my friend Max's body. And like he was walking in the street, and I was drawing and redrawing his legs for like 4 hours. I was a functional addict. Like I would eat and sleep. So it was like teetering culmination of things. So perfect storm kind of thing, and then it just like tipped it over the edge because. I was living in the suburbs, and it was like closer to the suburbs I grew up in. So, and I could walk to my parents' house. It was like very claustrophobic. It's like like I was in jail or something. Like I knew I got addicted when I started going like asking for help, and I actually attended Zoom at NA meetings, and it actually made it worse because of the way that the NA is over there.
They have a different version.
Do they shame you?
No, it's just like. I don't know, the people, it's just culture, it's just different. It's just different. It doesn't help that the NAAA model is very, like, religion-based, so I had trouble with that, difficulty, like, trying to get behind that.
I have a difficulty with all their cliches. The cliches drive me nuts.
Like, or, like, let go and let God.
And the rest are shamed for being weak and giving into their disease.
Oh, what's bad though? What's bad is like in that country, like one of the things they do when you're like in drugs, they'll literally like kidnap you and like put you in the psych ward, which is like the basement of the hospital, and like strap you down. Part of it's like a lot of deaths happened in my family during COVID, which is unrelated to COVID.
Right.
This is a perfect storm. It's so small that he actually sent flowers. Like from the territory, like at the funeral. Wow. Wild.
Wow.
Wild. I think my dad helped like with some ads for like his, what do you call it? When you run for office? Political campaign.
So is your family, would you say that they're more like right wing, or that not really?
Not really. There's no right or left there.
Yeah. There's a communist insurgency or something like that.
My mom's side, my uncle's like part of the communist.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Yeah, I know. She's like, dude, give it up.
Yeah,
like he was in jail for like 3 years. She's like,
it's not gonna happen, dude.
He started with the Marcos era, and he was still like, no, the cause. We're like, dude, just like, they framed him. They put like weapons in his trunk.
This is your uncle?
Yeah, my uncle, my mom's brother, and he was like, but he was really like put in jail for like being a communist.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah.
And then my family's like, just like get out of it. There's nothing to fight for.
And he's like, no, this is all I've believed in my entire life. I don't have. What's
funny is he was in there for like 2 or 3 Christmases, and then. When he came out, he looked better. Like, how's Uncle Tangoy? Like, he looks good. He's healthier. Like, he gained weight.
So it was good for him.
He got, like, impeached or whatever for plunder. Like the Marcos, they kicked them out, right? And then they had
it's like you're humiliated and all of a sudden, like...
And then she comes back and they're like, she has fans. Like, any politician... It's the masses, right? They're like not as educated, and they're poor, so they'll do things like, vote for me, I'll give you this much money, like like $500, and then they'll do it.
It's corrupt.
You know what I mean? It's so corrupt. It's like insanely corrupt. So it's like, no matter what happens here, I know it's awful, but then in my head, I'm always like in the back of my head, it's like, well, you still have, at least you can. You're still if you're fighting for abortion rights, for example. At least you even had abortion to begin with.
Oh, it's still illegal there?
We're the last country, we're the only country in the world that has no divorce. So I got married twice. That was my mistake. Once in the States and once in the Philippines. And then because I got married in the Philippines, I couldn't get divorced, so I had to go through an annulment. And the annulment, it can't be amicable. Like one of you has to be literally out of your mind.
Did you play the part of the psychopath in the movie?
No, it had to be my ex because like he wasn't there. So it was so it's friendly. You have to pay. You have to be rich, and you have to pay the court. So you find a friendly court, and like had to memorize a fake address to go to that friendly court.
Yeah.
And the judge is in on it. Like we had to spin it, and he's like let's say like he was on drugs and he was seeing prostitutes and he used to beat you up and put cigarette burns in your arm.
Oh, yeah.
He wrote it for
Let's
him.
actually burn you a little
Yeah,
bit.
and I'm like, dude, it's a bit much. Like the cigarette burns in my arm. Yeah, so I had to edit his story. What's funny though, it's like the judge was this woman, right? And then and there was like it's in front of everyone too, so they're like hearing your testimony. It's like everyone goes to, like there were like people from jail, like for different cases.
Yeah, different cases.
So we're all there together just to, you know, have our moment.
Right.
When I was on the stand, and she asked questions, she was like, and you don't have kids? I was like, no. And they were like, aw. Like they felt sorry, you know, so I'm like, okay.
You're like, hallelujah, no kids.
Yeah, that helps my case.
Why did you not have kids?
Because your husband was unable to give
like,
them to you.
You're like
I tried, but the drugs in his, you know, system.
And the cigarette burn.
Yeah.
And he threw me down the stairs and I miscarried.
Yeah. Stupid.
The one
it was
that
so dumb because I did that because I thought it would help me
your family's
move
there.
here. No, I was going to move here. But then when I called the embassy or whatever, they're just like, no, don't tell them you're married because like then you really won't come in. Came back as a tourist.
Okay.
Even though I wasn't married. Sorry. Then I got married here after. I got married there first, and that was the problem. That was the mistake.
Yeah.
Basically.
Cool.
Like, you know, some people, like, I usually just draw my head.
Yeah.
And then she would add a body.
Body.
I love that.
But I think Ronnie was very dry. I don't know if she was mad at me for doing it.
The one beside me?
Yes.
Yeah, she was like, oh, Gabrielle.
No,
Because we drew, like, ourselves farting and stuff.
Yeah.
who was farting?
Oh yeah.
I have a photo of that.
November drew a woman farting.
No, it was me because I said I would try to draw myself with a body because you're doing that. And I was like, I tried.
And then I added another body farting, and I was like, me too. And then Ronnie's like, I'm not drawing.
yeah.
I'm not gonna draw.
Why? Everybody farts.
That's like classic.
Yeah.
We all have to take our postures.
Yeah.
We all have to like play ourselves.
You know what's annoying? Like, I love learning about history now. It's so interesting. But when I was like in school, I hated it because the way they test you is it's so interesting. Yeah, they are great stories. I don't know why that's way
How did you feel when this general defeated the other?
thing to do. Like, I guess this is a moot point. My favorite subject in school. Like, school, that was so long ago.
I think I was like you in that I liked history and I even liked doing essays and stuff.
So I didn't like history in school because they didn't teach it right, but like, yeah.
But I did like learning until like they actually beat the learning out of me.
I enjoyed doing book reports.
Yeah, me too.
Once I wanted to do a book in high school. I wanted to do a book report on breakfast at Tiffany's, and they didn't allow me. They said it was too risque or whatever.
When I was a kid, we found a book report that my mom had written just out of boredom on
Wow.
one of the books that we were assigned. Like she just picked up one of our books, which was The Mixed Up Files of Basil E. Frankenweiler. It's about the two kids that ran away from home and lived in the Metropolitan Museum of Art and like hid when the tourists.
Oh wait, is that like? Oh yeah, I know that one.
So
I know that one.
and then they would go and like raid the fountain of the money and like buy hot dogs or whatever, and like they just like live in the. And it was a beautiful book, and I like fantasized about doing that myself. And we found this report. My mom was just like such an unhappy housewife. She just voluntarily wrote this like in-depth report, like a essay about this book, and I remember it was talking about how they like nobody had like tried to like hurt them or abuse them. They were just like there were like no adult, like it was just like this weird
adult
Oh,
perspective.
she went deep.
Yeah, she went deep, but I remember seeing like how they were just like left alone and nobody tried to intervene, or also nobody tried to hurt them or anything. Yeah, I guess that they were just like, I guess you could just go and live in the museum as a child and nobody. She was probably moved by it in the similar way that I was. That you could just find this little like area in society and just make your.
The ones that stick with me are like John Beller's books, and like also a little princess.
That's that.
I think I read more junky books as an adult than I did as a child.
Junky books?
Yeah.
White Lotus or something like that. It's just like, I just want
Exactly.
to watch this candy.
All about little White Lotus.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, I don't want to do any work.
Yeah, just entertain me.
And then he goes into a house and he reads a magazine for a long time, and then toilet paper falls on his face. And then the first time I seen this movie, it was uncomfortably long, staring at his big old penis, and it was just like so like this is the same way a lot of like durational art films are. You're just like, this does not need to be here. And it's like really in your face. But the second time we saw it, there was like a voiceover saying, "Vexations is brought to you." And it was like this whole like fake ad for toilet paper, and it worked so well.
That
it was
funny.
so funny.
Yeah, he worked on it.
Like that was just like, oh, that's a revelation right there. It reminded me of the movie Slacker. Have you seen Slacker?
I've never seen Slacker.
There's a lot of, I mean,
although I myself am a
it is definitely Generation
That's all right,
X.
yeah.
There's a lot of like, it's just like street scenes, and like somebody walks into a scene and like has an interaction, and then they walk away, and then there's like they'll have some other interaction, and there's no cohesive story, but like it's all kind of connected just by just like all these people hanging out and doing weird shit, and like the nude scenes anyway, but like it turned it into like like there was timing to it, like the timing, like this is comedy and art at the same time. Yeah, like you're just like, people go to the bathroom.
I spend a lot of time naked actually. like on the shower, and I'll be like brushing my teeth naked, moisturizing, and I'll like walk around my
I'm just collaborating with myself up here.
Sorry, should I be doing more shit?
No.
Switch or what?
No, I always do that.
Yeah, it's how I draw. Like, drawings have a lot of movement. I've been trying to like do animate. I'm interested in animation, so I like.
They do,
like,
yeah, you're drawing.
Yeah, I feel like it comes naturally.
Have you done animation?
I've done some, but I'm not like, I'm just like teaching myself. It's like comics in a weird way because it's like very.
This is totally like our picture here.
It's cute, right? That's why I got it. I was like, oh, I like the animals.
It's like animal heaven right here.
Yeah. And then I saw all these like fan nerds wearing it. I'm like, oh, it's lame shirt. But I still think it's cute. No, I didn't have koi.
I'm gonna do it.
I didn't have koi. I have this, I have glass catfish. So they're like transparent fish.
Oh,
they're kind of cool. They're like skeleton fish. So you can see through.
Oh, cool.
So
There's so many kinds of fish.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many fish, yeah.
So they're like, their heads are gray and then the rest of their body is clear. But actually their stomach is like near their face. So when I overfeed them, it looks like they have like a goiter or something.
That's cool. Maybe I would like it if my stomach was more near my face.
Really? Why?
Because you just put the stuff in and you get it over with.
You digest faster.
And you know how big it gets. Like, this is all I need.
That's how they evolved. And they're like, I gotta watch my weight.
I gotta watch this figure, you know?
Okay,
oh, how cute! He's playing a guitar.
Yeah. Both you and Gabrielle are extremely thin.
Yeah,
it's genetic.
It is genetic, actually. Yeah. Have you always been this?
Yeah. I used to
Gabrielle.
I used to hate it when I was younger because I was too thin. So I would like try.
You didn't
to
have like baby fat phase or anything like that.
Not really, and I'd be like go on a diet, try to gain weight. So I would eat lots of ice cream and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I need to gain weight, so I fit in.
I was overweight actually.
What?
I was overweight.
Overweight. Yeah, that's what
I
can't even picture you overweight.
I was chubby. I mean, I wasn't fat, but I was fatter than all my friends, and I felt like it's my grandma.
That's so cute.
Did you see Grandma's on the bed over there?
I know. I wanted to say hi, but she's shy.
She's very shy.
I think if you you bust out the cat toy, she'll get
she'll get interested.
Mine is like the most like,
Mm-hmm.
mine is just like, hey, what you doing?
Yeah, another person
like,
coming
what?
to see me. What's
It's
happening?
crazy. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I
Very
went over
doggish.
to Christopher Forbes' house, and there's these two cats, and this one cat, big, huge, fat cat, just came up and got on my lap like he belonged there.
Right.
And I was like,
cat's that way. Like,
I was like, I am blessed.
I had a cat, but I went to the Humane Society and I went to the cat room. It was like they were just free to roam around in the same room. I sat on the floor and she just came up to me and sat on my lap. And I did the tests where like I held her paws. I'm like, really? And I carried her and I was like, wow, this is rare. Do you think you're a sociable person?
Hell no. Extroversion is rewarded in society, and introversion is generally not.
Sometimes I can't tell if I'm an introvert or extrovert. Like, I can't tell. Because I have, like, I get really nervous around people.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I get over that, I'm like,
I think you
fine.
guys are similar in that way, I think.
Yeah,
really?
like,
Who are on all the time are extroverts or, like, secretly introverts trying to be, like, make up for it by being on. Like,
That's
you know,
a very good question, because
they overcompensate. you
Yeah,
know?
I think some people, like, that kind of dichotomy is often at play. Like, if somebody feels really, I don't know, messy inside, they might express it by being super clean.
Yeah, super on, like,
Yeah. Like, sort of, like, or if somebody feels really normal inside, they might play up being weird, or vice versa.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I think it has
Like,
to do with
how much they like
insecurity.
themselves.
And what they were shamed for as
Yeah.
kids. Well, I just did like this transcranial magnetic therapy, and it didn't work. And so like they're gonna try ketamine on me, and
It's funny that you tried it before.
I know. I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work, but hook me up. You know when you do a drug and you don't know if you feel it or not, and you don't have a lot of other experience, but you start acting as if
No, that's the best though. When you have no
you're just like,
expectation.
oh, I'm so white, or like, but you're just like, you don't know if you're actually high or you're just playing the high person.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was like that, but I didn't. Then I felt very empty inside, so I don't think it was that fun.
During or after?
During.
Really?
Yeah, because I was.
So you didn't enjoy it.
I was also like, am I acting funny and playful and eccentric in a good way, or am I just being weird and creepy and the vibes are off? I couldn't tell.
Fine, but with weed, I'm like, I get really paranoid.
Weed is like, did I just hear my voice? My voice? Is that what my voice sounds like? Hello? Is this me talking in my head, or am I...
And I try to work that dumbness into my shtick, and I'm not sure if it's
Yeah,
really
same.
working.
Like, yeah, I'm just funny.
I am a self-aware stupid person.
I'm a ditzy blonde.
I actually enjoy it when I'm alone, but in social situations, I get really paranoid sometimes. But
You mean like listening to music or
With the
doing
weed.
chores or drawing or something like that?
yeah.
I wonder if it's because you have to,
Like, there's so much sensory overload. You kind of have to be like a conductor at an orchestra. Just stuff that's happening in this moment, and you're just like, whoa, it's too much. There's so much happening, and you feel like this lack of control and loss and confusion.
We're like, a collective consciousness, so it's really,
Yeah.
we're all just really poly. Like, hell is this existence.
What the hell?
Like, why would you teach that to a child?
And yeah, why would you even, like, who decided that was even the case? Like, who even...
God.
Space.
Yeah.
Is that a rainbow or just a road?
I thought it was a rainbow.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be cool.
It's like a Fartbow.
It's a
Coming
Yeah!
out of that
Because it's a
animal.
unicorn.
Can we call this episode Fartbow?
Yes!
Okay, remind me.
Sometimes I get amazing, like a brilliant idea, life-changing, and I'll be like, there's no way I'll forget this, so I don't even have to write it down.
And then you go to sleep and you're like, oh,
what the hell? That was so...
It's another thing when I'm on weed and I draw, or drugs or I draw, and I'm like, or psychedelics, I'm like, I'm either a genius
Right.
or an idiot.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
line.
Somewhere in
This
between.
is the line that you have to cross. I mean, so you walk, actually. I
Yeah.
think when you're asking yourself that question
Yeah.
is when you're onto something.
You ever done something that you were really proud of and then no one else
Yes.
gave a shit?
Like what?
I feel like my whole life is that.
So you feel like you're kind of your own cheerleader, and then you're like,
I
and
feel
the other
like I
team-
was like mixed at the hospital with a princess. I was supposed to be a princess, but I was switched at birth, and I was sent to my like hillbilly, disgusting, druggy
I
parents.
can see that. I
Like,
can see that.
and, like,
No, totally.
and like there's some like gross like grommet of a girl somewhere in some kingdom.
only someone can discover that,
Mhm.
and like
And
Obi-Wan
help
Kenobi.
you with your
Yeah, he's like,
powers,
I wanna
like,
tell
teach
you
the
something.
powers.
Yeah.
But it's almost like reminding you of the power. Like you have them innately in you. They just need to be awakened. Or the Prince and the Pauper, which was
Yeah.
like a fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen.
How does that go again?
I mean, it's a classic story of like the prince and the pauper trade places for a day.
Well, that's the thing, the trading, and then it's like, wait,
or trading places.
trading places. That's what.
Oh, stippling heaven.
I don't
Gabrielle, you should stand up and draw.
I
it.
actually haven't stippled in a while. I'm just like stippling because you are.
Like that.
I always give in to peer pressure.
In heaven, there is a lot of stippling.
Heaven is a place.
It's like, yeah, there's the octopus is the collective consciousness, and then the tentacle is like all of us like experiencing life in the human form.
Like we're all fingers on the same hand.
Yeah, exactly. We're all connected, but when we are gone, when we die, we go back to the source.
I think that does.
That's what I believe, anyway.
Connect with like the prince and pauper archetype too,
How so?
because like, well, even though he was born as a pauper, like in the cosmic realm, he's like a magical spiritual being that's bigger than life. He's a god.
Really? I didn't know that was a story of the prince and the pauper.
Or like any of the stories where like Jesus, like a humble person, is raised to god levels, is because like they're like actually son of God, or like they're like something big in the higher realms.
That's why we like take form in this realm. It's just to like evolve. Like it's like a challenge.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like we do this. I don't know. Like I feel like we choose this on purpose. So people with hard lives, it's like literally.
So
like
we've
a
chosen
game.
this.
It's like a game, yeah, where you challenge yourself to like evolve. I think it's all about evolve.
When in the previous
that's where
life?
it gets tricky though, because then it's like, oh yeah, you chose this homeless.
Yeah, like maybe you're not aware of it, but I think it's like in your like more evolved self, your spiritual self, you had chosen it as a challenge. Sometimes like I felt like I chose like that easier. I didn't challenge myself enough because my life isn't as like awful as other people.
But maybe
You
you've
mean-
had.
Well, you were born in privilege.
Yeah, I was. That's
And
why.
then you threw it all away.
Sort
For
of,
what?
like,
For art.
Yeah.
I'm always like I choose like the loud shit like neon.
no, that's great.
You know what sucks though? I can't scan it because the scanner doesn't pick up neon.
Yeah.
So I always take up shitty photos.
These colors are so beautiful. They all work. Like they just. I have not seen
Don't you love how it smells?
Yes.
It smells so good.
Are you now sniffing
It smells.
paint?
No, I used to ride a motorcycle. It's just something about it.
So you used to ride a motorcycle. That's all.
Yeah.
What kind of motorcycle? What kind of bike do you have?
I used to have a Honda Rebel 250. It was a
Oh my
tiny
god, the
bike.
Rebel, like sort of like a low
It's so
kind of
cute.
like
Yeah, it's like an
and
old
you don't
school.
have to
Yeah,
be like
it's across the bridge, right? The Williamson Bridge.
Williamsonburg.
Williamsburg Bridge.
Williamson
Williamsburg Bridge. And I was like, I realized I never walked across the Golden Gate Bridge ever. Like the farthest I've ever been was when I left and moved back, and I was in a sublet for a little bit on Ocean Beach. It's the farthest I've ever been.
in San Francisco.
Yeah, but I've always been in the same
Right.
area.
I like those out of the way places like Ocean Beach. It's like very beautiful parts.
And I've never really ridden a cable car. Like I did it once, but it was by mistake.
Yeah.
Like I hopped in it, and then I realized how expensive it was,
How
and
much
I
is it?
hopped back off. I forgot, but it was like not normal, like
It's like a
bus
tourist
price.
kind of
Yeah.
situation.
I was like, what? And I was like, I'm getting off. Can I just get off? And then I got off.
One time, me and Sadie were driving her little. It was like this junky little car, like pop, 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 pop kind of car, and we drove to San Francisco and we slept in the back, like parked in the street. We were doing this
What
stuff.
street? Where? What
And
street?
it was somewhere downtown, and then we drove down. We were following the tracks of the rail of the
The truck, cable car.
Yeah.
and we accidentally went on there. The circle is a giant lazy Susan, and you drive onto it, and it like slowly rotates. But it's for a cable car, not
You got stuck in it.
not like a hillbilly truck that we had. And so like we were surrounded by enormous crowds of people, all 360 of who were all waiting for a cable car, and we were there, and everyone was laughing. We had just woken up from
Market Street or something?
Yeah, we'd just woken up from sleeping in the truck, and we had to sit there.
You were like revolving.
And it goes super slow.
Yeah.
And we just had to sit there like we were in a parade, like an impromptu parade. It was. I mean, if I'd done it now, I would have waved and laughed, like hi. I would have done like a princess wave, but we just sat there mortified. I think we got like a big bottle of cheap wine and sat on Castro Street and watched bums and gay people fight. I moved there from the late 90s, moved away 2001.
Oh, interesting. That's when I moved there.
So you were there at the same time.
I did steal some. I stole Peter Bag's books from Virgin Books.
And you worked at Green Apple.
I worked at Green Apple.
What?
Yeah.
No. The first book I got from her was Lucky, and I was like, it's when I moved back again.
Yeah.
And that was like in, like 2000, early aughts.
Did you make zines and stuff when you were in San Francisco? You know what? I can make my own magazine.
Yeah.
I can do my own.
I like my own Moxie.
Yeah. The kids are doing that now.
Yeah. I met you at Cake, Chicago.
Yeah, you did my portrait. I was so intimidated, dude.
What year?
That was cool.
2017 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I had an instant connection with you.
Really? I thought you were annoyed.
But we've not gone wrong with the color. The only time we go wrong is like if I use like a dark color that's close to black, and then you're like, is that black? But that's just because like this light is really bad. But this is great. And the layering really works with these. I'm glad you're a Copic.
No, I am a big Copic person. Sometimes people, like, oh, like I donated this thing for like the Kate auction, and like, and this painting by November. I'm like, it's not a painting, it's just paint. It's like Copics.
Copics are great.
I love them.
They're so cartoony and fresh.
Cartoony. You should be like, they're cartoony and fresh. I love Copics. It's funny. Like I thought, like, oh, like I live in such a beautiful place. I should go to the beach and draw, but it just never really works out that way. Like, well, unless I'm like in an airport or something, But like, I won't go to a place to draw.
Specifically,
But more if I had like a studio with someone else, with something I wish, like now. At least here, there's more like privacy and anonymity where they'll leave you alone.
at the coffee shop / library / park, or what do you mean?
The third space.
The third spaces?
Here,
Yeah.
I mean in New York, this is a city, it's like common for people to be drawing in public. It's not a big deal. So here, it's like they just leave you.
That's something cool about New York. Like people just like don't give a shit.
I want contrast. I like hard and soft, girly and manly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know, I'm the way I am. Like it's contrast.
What does your husband think about your work?
I would say he likes it.
Not as a critic, but just as a
Yeah, he's always been
an
supportive.
editor, supportive.
Honestly, like
partner /
I've known him since I was in my 20s because we met at work, but I was still married. So we were friends.
Did you have an affair?
Yes.
Was that the reason for the marriage breakup?
Yeah, it was like a movie. He had a girlfriend and a husband.
Okay.
It was like a whole thing.
Okay,
like,
so you each want to get away from the other people, and
we always liked each other, I guess.
so
But,
they're
like,
more natural. Yeah.
It's wild because like when we had just met, because he's a musician. He asked me to do the album cover of his band.
Oh, that's a big
it's
ask.
funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Did you do it?
I did, yeah. So he's like, he liked it enough that he'd asked me, you know. So he's like always been supportive in that sense.
And you were like, I have to ask my husband for permission first. And then...
No, I did. I just like did it.
Yeah.
My husband was an artist too, but I evolved. Now I'm a better artist. It's true. But it was like a movie. I should make a comic about it. Actually,
You should. This
No,
would
literally-
be the comic.
no,
actually. I think
literally,
so, yeah.
like-
No, you're right.
we had an affair, and like there was a moment when we
It
were
was
like,
exciting.
no, we were like in the bed together, like giggling, and his ex-girlfriend like had a key.
Oh.
He had an attic apartment, right?
Oh,
like with roommates. He had the attic, and like she literally came up and like, what's going on? And it's
so dramatic.
November, and she like literally like tore the blanket off.
Oh.
Wait, turn the light on. The lamp.
Was he still erect?
No, we were giggling. It was post. So like she like November, and she like
God.
threw the blanket off.
So she
turned the
knew
light
you-
on. Yeah, turned on the light because we were hanging out together like double date. She turned the light on, threw the blanket off, and we were both naked. And then she pulled my hair, and all I could say was "ow."
Wow, this
That's
is
all
like
I said. Ow!
This is like a Filipino soap opera.
I know, it's so
This is
bad.
trash.
And it's so trashy. And the whole time, so I never got dressed so fast in my life. And the whole time she was like sucking like November. And then he said, "Can you just let her get dressed?"
Yeah.
And she like went to the corner and sulked and I got dressed really fast and ran out. Like it ran on.
I mean, what can you do? It's
Wild.
so humiliating for all parties.
It's so humiliating.
But then
But
she
you
had
know
to
what?
like
I was
take
a
it up.
child. I was in my 20s, so.
Yeah. The frontal cortex is not really.
Yeah.
But you don't regret doing it.
No, because I met the love of my life.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I did it for love, so it's not a scuzzy. Heaven is a place on earth.
Yeah, Belinda Carlisle, she had a drug problem.
Really? The Go-Go's? My
Yeah,
sister was
she-
so into them.
She was in rehab for a while.
No way. Gaga. So you're so gaga for Go-Go. Sister's in the K-pop now.
K-pop now, yeah, of
So
course.
she devolved. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the worst fights I've had with my sister was like, we had an argument about bullying, right?
Mm-hmm. How do you have an argument like that?
I don't remember. It was like Christmas or something, in a Christmas party. And then, like, talking about someone who was being bullied and, like, how the mechanics of bullying is.
Yeah.
And then it ended up, like, anyway, the point is not the bullying argument, but the argument itself. Because in the end, when I said, no, okay, fine, because I was tired of arguing, so I said, no, you're right, I'm wrong.
Mm.
No, I agree, you're right, I'm wrong.
She wasn't satisfied with that.
Enraged her even more.
Yeah, she was like, no, you fight with me.
Yeah.
What's your
Like,
position?
because she knows I'm like being like sarcastic, but
Yeah.
like when I say it, it just like it's like, what do you want? I'm never gonna agree with you, but I'm the Venn diagram where I get along with the popular kids, the jocks, or
you're
like
popular.
the weirdos. So I'm like the middle.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm that way still as
Yeah,
an
you
adult.
are.
Like I'm trying to bring other people together, but it just didn't work.
You try to
It
set up a
got
date between two people.
got really awkward.
You don't want that.
Yeah. Like they get along with me, but like I'm like, you guys will all get along. It's like, oh fuck. Dunning-Kruger though, that's very Philippines. Like Dunning-Kruger.
I don't know, what is that?
Dunning-Kruger effect. It's like you don't know what you don't know.